Your teapot is actually bigger than
Take a piece of that. This pan is big.
Hello, everybody.
So let's meet the panel for 2006. So let's meet the panel for 2006. Our part-time barista, in the absence of last year's Asad, not feeling too well tonight, Mr. Nazim Hussain. And of course we should go to the ladies. We've got the golden voice of Oromo Radio.
one of the perks being multilingual.
And all in green tonight. Actually, my daughter said you're starting to look like Dipsy from the Teletubbies. she's a little one in green, Susan Carlin.
I'm going to get a break into kids' TV any day now.
Well, you do want to get onto Play School, so this could be your chance.
Remember me, Play School.
On my far right, Mr. Ahmed Hassan, the 1984 Afik Muslim Youth of the Year.
Well, it's just fantastic to be back for another season of Salam Café, and it's also Ramadan as well. So happy Ramadan to all the viewers, and yeah, it's just great to be back.
Keep fasting. And to my right, we have, as referred to in one media outlet as the genuinely charming Waleed Ali.
Thanks, Ahmed. And like I say, it's just fantastic to be on the greatest show on Australian community television. Just look at magnificent. Just take a...
Looks like a weapon
of
mass destruction.
You just see all these audience members looking at this.
Tell them
is that?
Tell them what it is.
No, this little baby, apart from being quite dangerous, is the Antenna Award for Program of the Year. I'll just leave that here so you can actually get a look at it. We managed to take that home. Best program on Australian community TV last week. Which I think just goes to show, really, that the judges don't really know what they're doing.
Out of 500 other shows around Australia, we won.
I've never seen it because I was away at the time. That is fantastic.
I know. Well, we know you missed out, so we've actually organised a bit of a relive for you.
Yeah. So indeed,
take a look at this.
For anyone. Yeah.
Sensational.
It's been a big night.
And now for the business end of the evening, the one that I suppose we've all been waiting for, Program of the Year. This year, judges were inundated with programs submitted from all around the country, and were pretty much astounded by the quality of all of them. And the winner of Program of the Year, no surprise, Salam Café.
Well, try carrying this on an aeroplane when you're a Muslim. I don't suggest it.
Look, we were told it was no surprise, but we were very surprised. I don't think anyone of us expects to be up here, and when we didn't get the sought-after award of Best Faith-Based Program, things signs went really good. But it's a fantastic honour. We'd like to thank everyone involved. We'd especially like to thank all our fans, especially those guys who live in Cronulla. Apparently they love us there. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Sasha. Go, Sash.
Team from Salam Café. Let's hear it for them.
It was a great honour, and thanks to Channel 31, RMITV, everybody. And how about that compere saying no surprise, Salam Café?
Now, I was completely surprised that we won the final award. We were nominated for 5 events, and I thought we'd won number 1, 2, 3, 4, and not number 5, not the best program.
Just pick up a lazy 4.
Yeah. No, I turned to the guy behind me, and I said to him, look, when we win the first one, I said, you take a photograph like this. The second one, take this sort of photo. Third one, take the fourth one. This is the kind of photo I want you to take. So we lost the first one, the second one, the third one. By the fourth one, the guy goes to me, are you sure you want me to take a photograph of the next one? And I said to him, by the fifth one, I said, no, look, don't worry about it. But he insisted, he took it away from me. And when we actually won at Salam Café, I remember I just went crazy because I didn't know that we'd won. And he took a picture. I haven't got it with me, but it's me just doing something like that. Absolutely.
How's it going?
One more time. It was pretty bittersweet for me because I was actually away at the time. I was overseas. And I got an SMS from Ahmed, and you know sometimes SMSs you get half the message and it said, we've won nothing. And then I had to scroll down, except Program of the Year. So I was like, oh, it's fantastic. I was really wrapped. So that's a great effort, guys. Well done.
So there's a lot to live up to this season, so we've got to make it a good one.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on.
Speaking of other exciting events, I think Salam Café to go have got something intriguing to show us.
Well, there's been many exciting events in Australia recently.
Yeah, especially in the Muslim community.
As always.
There's nothing bigger than an Imams conference.
So let's take it to the Imams conference, Salam Café to go.
I'm here at the National Conference of Australian Imams at the Stanford Hotel in Sydney. There's about 150 imams from around Australia, and there's heaps of media inside there, so let's just go join them and see what these scary imams are all about, if they're really scary.
We dress like Muslim people.
And what do you want to say to them?
People are scared from us.
I want to be scared of you.
I don't know. Ask him. Ask everyone.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Do you think John Howard would be a better looking guy if he grew a beard?
I think so.
John Howard?
I think so. He's a man.
You think John Howard would look more manly if he grew a beard?
Yes, definitely. What?
You speak English?
Yeah, of course.
But you're Muslim, man.
But I can speak English. It's a lot of surprise.
Oh, we're looking for a Muslim. Sorry, man. If we gave John Howard a spelling test, he would get 10 out of 10.
No, I think he will get probably 8 out of 10.
But he says that we should all speak English. If he can't pass his own spelling test, then he shouldn't be Australian.
Yes, I think you need to know about the Australian values here.
Mr. Howard, if you're listening, I'd love to welcome you to my home in England, in Leicester. The weather won't be very nice, it'll be a bit cold because we're approaching winter, but the eggs will be really delicious.
Just how have you found the Imams conference so far?
Wonderful, very constructive, and hopefully we can get something out of it.
I am a radical Muslim feminist. Do you want to know what a radical Muslim feminist is?
I think so.
Okay. I'm someone who believes that men and women are equal, that we shouldn't be valued on the basis of our gender. Men shouldn't be valued less, women shouldn't be valued less, and that we can source this value equality, if you will, in Islamic teaching.
So, hey, these are Australian values, you reckon?
Yes, and they're very much Islamic values.
That's what John Howard's trying to tell us, because he doesn't even know what Australian values are. You just summed it up in like 10 seconds.
That and a meat pie footy.
John Howard, we found your answer, and she's a radical woman. We should all do a spelling test before we become imams.
I think so.
And that will make the government very happy.
Yes, it should be, and the government should do that for us.
Okay,
and pay to us while we are doing it.
Can I do a quick spelling test with you?
Yes, yeah, of course.
Okay, can you spell for me John?
John. John.
Okay. Howard.
Howard.
What do you have under your cap?
My brain.
Alright, John Howard, I think we've gotten ourselves a fully trained imam. He's passed all your tests. Now, the stereotype is that all Muslim women get bashed at home. But can you please tell our viewers at home, that's not the women that get bashed at home, that it is the men?
Actually, it is the men. Ask my husband.
John Howard.
Well, you all know know that I love my quirky stories about the Muslim community, especially Muslim women. Going on a bit of a rant. And guess what? We have the first female Muslim cosmonaut about to go up into space. Her name is Anusha Ansari, so A Ansari, just like Asad. What a bizarre coincidence. And she's wanted to be an astronaut ever since she was little. She's this really interesting woman. She's originally from Iran. Then she moved to America for her studies just after the revolution. She's really, really rich. She was listed in Fortune magazine's 40 Under 40. She won a Business Women's Excellent Award, that sort of thing. And she's going up into space soon after 6 months training.
How's she won one of these?
That's the big question.
That's what matters. That's what matters.
What's interesting though is that she came to America without speaking a word of English, and if you just look at her credentials, she's gone to 2 universities, degrees, masters, invested in technology.
So what's this? She just decided to go for a holiday in space. Like what?
She's always wanted. She's interested in astronomy. She's studying astronomy and that sort of thing. And she decided she wanted to be a cosmonaut. So she's trained for 6 months at NASA, and off she goes.
So what's the deal? Like, Muslims pray. We pray towards Kaaba in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. How do you do that in a spaceship?
It's on the Earth, I guess.
I reckon there'll be no debate as to which way to face. Face Earth.
Praying on the flying carpet.
Fasting. How do you know when the day?
It could be like a half-hour day.
The lunar day. That's it.
Or if like you got your prayer mat in zero gravity.
Your magic carpet.
It becomes like a flying carpet. She said she's Iranian background, yeah? Because about a year ago we did a segment with the first Muslim women on Mount Everest.
Yep.
Right?
Iranian?
And they were Iranian as well.
Looks like the Iranians are running the world. Okay, let's...
well, that's a good note to finish.
Let's just go to the break on that note, and we'll be back in a moment. Reality TV is definitely all the trend today in Australia, and now the Muslims even have their own show. Let's have a look at it.
Tonight, the search for Australia's most controversial Imam continues. After recent Sydney audition, it's now Melbourne's turn to come up with some talent.
My name is Samir Iqbal Muhammad Salahuddin. You can call me Uncle Sam. Now, when you look at my face, tell me you're not smiling. Because if you are not smiling, this is meaning that I am not the true Muslim. But everybody, when they are walking down the street and they are seeing my face, all they are doing is smiling. Because I am Muslim. And we are the peaceful one. And if people don't smile when they see my face, you know what I is doing? This is the way to discipline the people's mind. I is taking the shoe and I is hitting their face. So let me tell you one thing. Only one thing. Uncle Sam wants you. Yes, you. To join him in this army of love and happiness as we sail on this ship in the sea of beauty and Islam. Please come aboard.
Yeah, look, Uncle Sam, I'm disappointed, mate. I mean, when you first came through the door, I thought, we finally got some gold. I thought, it's going to be good. But then, just disappointed, mate. Just really disappointed. I'm sorry. Just the slipper thing just didn't do it for me. Sorry.
Well, I know you. It's in you. I can feel it. I can see it in your eyes. It's in you. That monster. Just let it out. Just let it out. Let yourself go. I know you can. But I mean, for now, I'm gonna have to say no. Sorry.
Look, mate, I think they're being too soft on you. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say what everyone else hasn't. You're fat. You're fat. That's all there is to it. You're not going to make it looking like that. No, don't look at me like that. That's the way it is. That's the way it is. You get up there for a sermon on a Friday. 100, 200 people are sitting there. They're going to talk. Tabloids are going to talk. We live in a body-conscious society. And not everyone can look as good as me. Where are my cheeseburgers? I'm still waiting for the cheeseburgers.
You don't know what you're missing. This ship is sailing away and you will never catch it. It is like the Titanic. Once it leaves the dock, it never comes back.
It is going to go under the water. You will never see it unless you can swim very well. I don't think you can swim. You cannot swim like me. But if one day you want to see the shoe slapping boy again, you better say yes. Otherwise, I'm going to sail out of this room. Yeah, okay, bye. You sure? Are you sure? Please say yes. Please, I beg you.
It's a no. It's a no. Well, I don't know why you're still saying it's a no. Sorry.
Okay. Don't get it. Okay. What do they want? They want some nice guy who tell the truth the way it is. You look at the reality of the way the kids are, the Muslim. They want some Santa Claus. Just because I got beard, I'm not going to give them hugs and presents down the chimney from India. They don't get it. Sometimes they just don't get it.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Meaning peace be with you. I'm just really here to present a positive, realistic, real image of Muslims and to really just let everybody else know through the media that...
So where's the controversy?
You're not here to do that? Okay, well I am...
Get out, that's not what we're looking for. Sorry, mate. Come on.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
And you're fat.
I've always wanted to know where Today Tonight find their talent.
Hassan, what are you doing?
Man, I'm voting for that guy.
Enough frivolity, enough frivolity. We've got a very important guest with us tonight, Gorkem Acaroglu. She's a director and writer of theatre, and a very popular show that's been in Melbourne and is moving to Sydney very soon. It's called the Habib Show. So a big warm Salam Café welcome to Gorkem Acaroglu.
I don't know anything about theatre. How does someone start off writing? I imagine you can't just decide, I'm going to write a play and write it and put it on. There must be more to it than that. I'm sure it's a long process. How did you get involved in it?
Well, I first became interested in acting when I was 3 years old. When people told me that I was a bit of a drama queen and you should be an actress. And I thought, okay, that sounds really good. I might do that. But later on I became more interested in directing, so I never actually got into acting. I became a director, and yeah, it's not something you get. You sort of just, I mean, if you've got that kind of desire and the passion for it, then that's what really drives you to do any kind of art, really, but particularly theatre, because it's it's not a big industry, it's a small industry, but yeah, my love for theatre basically took me to studying, took me to making theatre, took me to writing theatre. And yeah, it's just a long process of doing it, getting better, getting more feedback, and basically it depends on the audiences, really. They're the ones who decide whether...
Yeah, we know about that, don't we?
Yeah, but you've done really well, obviously. I mean, there's the Habib Show, which was just finished in Melbourne recently, and we'll get to that in a second. But you've done a fair bit of work before that as well. So can you just sort of take us through the type of stuff that you've been doing?
Yeah, well, I came down to Melbourne 2 years ago, and I came down to study a year of directing at the Victorian College of the Arts, and then I basically stayed here, and I've been doing theatre for the last couple of years here. But before that in Sydney, I had also written and directed a number of shows. The last one I did was called Love, Madness and Poetry, and it was a show I did in Sydney, which I wrote. Was basically I had Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet and the Middle Eastern Layla and Majnun on stage together, brought them together, and
that's really interesting.
Yeah,
East meets West.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Did they get along, or like what,
Well, there were a few cat fights here and there, but generally,
it'll work out at the end.
Like a civilization.
Well, they're very similar. That's the thing. Yeah. They have. I mean, in a lot of ways, they're similar. They've got very similar stories, but then in other ways, they're quite different as well. And it was kind of really interesting to look at the different ideas of love. And the similar ideas about love that come through those two stories. And I guess by bringing them together, that was sort of what was coming out.
So your latest project was a documentary theatre. I mean, there's been a lot of attention to documentaries like March of the Penguins and Inconvenient Truth. What about documentary theatre? Is that a new thing?
It actually, it's not new, but it's not very well known. Even within the theatre kind of circles, it's not a very known thing. And basically, it's just like if you think about, documentary film, documentary theatre, it's sort of similar in that it's using documents, but in film, like you're filming people and that sort of thing. In theatre, what you're usually doing is the words that the actors speak are all from real people's words. So, for example, in the Habib Show, basically the whole script and everything that the actor, 99% of what the actors said, was transcripts from from television programs, from radio, from interviews that I did with Mamdouh and Maha Habib, newspaper articles, essays, all that kind of stuff. And basically, I put it all together. And it's really, really powerful when you're there in a room watching a show and you know that everything that's being said has actually been said by a real person.
So, for example, if you had Philip Ruddock, the character of Philip Ruddock talking, they were Philip Ruddock's words. So it was kind of like just putting together the history in front of the audience.
Not really. Basically, well, the way that I'm interested in doing documentary theatre, and I hope to keep doing that kind of thing, is that you take the real people's words and put them together in a way that's basically, in a way it's a documentary of a period in time or about a particular issue. And then but because it's theatre, it's really, really, there's a whole lot of exciting things in theatre, like we just saw in the Imam that comedy. And comedy is a great way for people to be, get really interested in something. And so the Habib Show was actually quite satirical, and it was quite funny. That might sound weird with the kind of show that it was, and about Mamdouh Habib, who was, I don't know if people know, but he was he was held in Guantanamo Bay for 3 years. He's a Australian resident in Sydney. And it's quite, full-on stuff.
Yeah, serious content, but
serious
delivered
content,
in a funny way.
Yeah, in a satirical way, in a kind of entertaining and high-energy kind of way. So, and that's really just so that it's, it's something that you actually enjoy watching and you can kind of, be engaged, really.
Well, we're going to have to cut you off because that's all time we've got time for tonight, which has been fantastic. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Let's say thank you to our guest, Gorkem. And the show's coming to Sydney hopefully soon. Hopefully it's going to be in Sydney soon for all those people in Melbourne. Well, you just missed out on a great show and
tough.
We're going to have to fly out to Sydney for
exactly, go up to Sydney and see the show and
look forward to your next one.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll be back after the break. Thank you very much.
Okay, now, for all you viewers who thought Muslims only ever invented doner kebabs and Persian rugs, have I got news for you?
Sounds scary.
Something very close to our heart. Coffee. The story about the origin of coffee is that an Ethiopian farmer noticed that his goats became a lot more frisky when they ate the beans from a certain tree. He got the idea to get some water, boil those beans and drink it himself, noticed the effects and started selling it. He took it to Yemen, where Sufis, the first documented use of coffee was in Yemen, where Sufis would drink it to stay up all night and pray. By the late 15th century, it made it to Mecca and then to Turkey. It made its way to Venice in 1645. 5 years later, a Turkish chap by the name of Pascarosi opened the first coffee house in Lombard Street, London. The Arabic word qahwa became the Turkish kahve, the Italian cafe, and the English coffee.
Oh, well
done. So there you go.
I reckon we've got to turn that into a segment.
Definitely. Sounds good.
It's a Muslim thing.
Thanks, Ethiopians.
On to the next segment is actually your mailbag,
Yes,
your emails.
my favourite segment.
Actually, no, I'm going to intrude here because we have got the email of all emails that you wouldn't have seen. Now, we've got a studio audience in, which means that for the first time they actually get to see what Susan gets up to during the ad break. And for those of you at home who've never seen it, can you just take a look at this?
Wake up, Jess!
Yeah, that's Susan in the ad breaks keeping us.
I do have a 3-year-old in my defence.
We have a 3-year-old too.
Exactly. So what happened is, without Susan actually being aware of this, we got an email from a young lady named Yasmina Shawi, who you might remember was a guest on the program previously. And that email consisted of really no text, but just a picture that she'd made up. She's a great little artist, and here it is.
Worth 1,000 words.
Hey!
All right. So it's my view that's just email of the week, hands down.
Definitely.
If anyone's got any more sort of, opportunities to make fun of Susan, that would be most welcome. Just send them in, mail at salamcafe.com.au, and you're guaranteed to get them read out.
Definitely.
No doubt.
Next week, Susan, please wear a pink scarf. Please, because you now are the fifth wiggle. Sensational. We have to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for our guests coming in tonight, Gorkem Acaroglu. Salam Café was great. Next week, very special guest, we've got the CEO of the National Australia Bank, Ahmed Fawad. Continuation of Australian Imam Idol. So that should be great. So until then...
Hey, wait, and don't forget, go to salamcafe.com.au if you want to be in the studio audience.
Please. It's an absolute hoot. Just
that's these guys. Happy Ramadan. Assalamu alaikum.